Oh, whoops, I'm messing up a lot right now. Okay, there. So if I just had the best idea. If I were to get 15, oh God, 15 subscribers, I would make a math video, because that's a good idea. That's not nice. Yeah, I will make a math video. What's up? Wow, my slides are messed up. Okay, there. What's up, guys? It's Granny Jake here, and today, I wonder what that does. And today I am going to do my 15 sub special. This is only a meme video. Please don't judge me for this. Okay, so I'm doing a math video because, sorry, I'm fixing my mouse. I reached 15 subs, but I'm not sure if I posted the video where I actually announced it, but I'll try to show you in the corner of the screen. Stupid mouse. But so I'm gonna teach you how to do algebraic equations. So first, let's open a title slide, and we are going to write stuff. What is an algebraic, I don't know, how do you spell it? Braic equation. This might take a while. Oh wow, that's messy. I'm just gonna erase that. So, what is an algebraic equation? An algebraic equation is an equation with a variable with a variable. Oh my god, my spelling is horrible today. And I'm gonna put in parentheses x, y. These aren't the only variables in z. But so here is an example of an algebraic equation. Let's try this. 2x plus 1 equals 3. In an algebraic equation, you have to solve for the variable. As you can tell, it's x. Oh, this slide is wrong, by the way. It's supposed to be how to solve. Sorry for that. But that's an example of an algebraic equation. Well, so, speaking of algebraic equations, there's multiple types. We have 4 main types. We have OneStep, which is you can solve. It's pretty explanatory. The equation in one step. And then we also have a two-step equation, which is an equation you can solve in 2 steps. Equation. Oh, I messed up in the first one. But Here, the first one is supposed to say the equation in one step. Okay, there. That's much better. And then we also have a multi-step equation, which means it takes more than oops, I messed up. It could take 3 or more steps to, that's messy, solve. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, and in these equations, there's one that doesn't really have a step amount. It's a literal equation. It has more than one variable. Here, I'm trying to spell there. So that was a lot of writing. Yeah. That was a lot of writing. Now, I am going to show you how to solve a one-step equation. So I'm going to insert one-step equation. Solve for x and the equation. Let's say 4x equals 48. So there we have our equation right there. So first, it's always a good idea to rewrite the equation so we can do whatever we want to. So there's only one term in this equation, and the one term is this 4x. So there's so there could be multiple operations going on in this video, or I mean not video, in one-step equations. So you could have multiplication, as you could tell here. You could have division. Oh, whoops. That's supposed to be. I'm just rewriting the same equation except the different operation. You could have division, addition. I can't write. Here, we could have addition. We could also have subtraction. I mean, obviously, all of these would have different answers, but they're pretty much the same. So, if I were to look at the given equation right here, I'll erase these so you don't get distracted. So, if you look at this equation, let's rewrite it again because it got a little messy. But the first step to do is find the variable and what operation is being done to it. And the variable x x is right here, and that's what we're trying to solve. And since it's right next to the 4, that means we're doing multiplication. Now, here's the fun part. So, you take, here I'm going to choose a different color. So, we take the operation we find, which is in this equation, will be multiplication, and we do the opposite. So, instead of multiplying, we're going to be dividing. Oh, whoops. Nope. So we're going to be dividing, and the reason, so we're going to be dividing by the number that is trying to change x. So in this equation is 4. So 4 divided by 4, we know it's 1, so we can cross that out. And 48 divided by 4 is 12. So the solved equation will be x equals 12. Now if we were to take the same equation and write it in, let's say addition, 4 plus x equals 48. So we would identify the variable, which is x. Then we identify what, so since we're doing addition, this, you could rewrite it x plus 4 or 4 plus x, but we're trying to take away the 4. And since there's no symbol next to the 4, we can pretend there's a plus sign there, because that won't make a difference to the equation. So, by doing that, we have to do the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. So we subtract 4 from both sides of the equation. That cancels out. So we would finish with the equation. I think that's what I use. 44. It's not what I, the same color, but still. X equals 44. So I'm going to write, and actually I'm gonna, so let's move on. We're going to insert a new slide, and now we are going to do two-step equations. So first is, so we're going to solve for, the variable could be anything. The variable, as far as I'm concerned, could be m, but we're just going to say it's x because that makes it easier. So we are going to do 5x plus 3 equals, well, let me think of an equation. Let's do 12. Because I don't want to complicate it too much, so I'm doing an easier equation for you guys. So obviously, the first step is to rewrite the equation. 5x plus 3 equals 12. Well, since it's a two-step equation, we have multiple terms. So I'm going to circle the coefficient in pink. So if you have multiple colors, at first I would use multiple colors to help you with these. We're going to do the coefficient in pink, which means you have to solve this last, and then you're going to do the term, the constant, in light blue. Okay, that's just what we're going to do. So, first, we are here. I'm just gonna, yeah, we are going to solve. We have to look at the constant because we want to take away the constant before we do anything. So I messed up here. Let's change this equation. Don't mind me, I'm changing it. We're going to change it to 18. There, that makes it a lot easier. So we are going to subtract since we have this plus sign right here. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. And by doing that, we'll get 50. Okay, so we'll get 5x equals 15. And oh wait, whoops. I'm trying not to confuse you. The 3 minus 3 cancels out, which eliminates it. So now we have 5x equals 15. This looks familiar, doesn't it? It looks like a one-step equation. So, it looks like the variable is being multiplied by 5. So, we are going to divide this coefficient by 5 to isolate the variable, so we only have x. Then, since we did it to one side, we have to do it to the other side. So now, after we divide it, we get the solution. X equals 3. That's simple, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. But now we're going to get into a tougher type of algebraic equation. We are doing to a multi-step equation. I need to make this box bigger. I keep on messing up. Whatever. So we're going to solve for x. And the equation is going to be 2x plus 5 minus 6x equals, here, I'm excuse me. Actually, let's do plus, let's multiply plus 6x. So we have addition. Yeah, I'm thinking, let's do 45. That seems good. So this might look, here, let's do 50. This might look confusing, but it's not confusing at all. This is what the colors would help you do. So let's rewrite the equation. So, oh, whoops. We have 2. Oh, that's a little messy. Here, let's fix that. 2x plus 5 plus 6x plus 2 plus 3. Instead of circling, actually, I'm going to circle and I'm going to rewrite the equation. So we are going to circle the coefficients. So we have a coefficient is a term with a variable, just in case you're confused. So we're going to circle the coefficients. Oh, whoops, I didn't finish the equation. So, oh, that's messy. I can't write today. 50. And then the other coefficients, let's do in light blue. So, or the constants, sorry. So we're going to take 5 2, and 3. Now we have to combine these terms. Now it might look confusing, but it's not actually that hard. So first, we're going to combine these coefficients. So we look at the 2x, and then we look at the 6. But I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a plus right here. So you take the 6x plus the symbol next to it. So that means we're going to add. So 2x plus 6x equals 8x. Now we are going to do the same thing to the constants. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. So we're going to have plus 10 equals 50. So now it looks like a two-step equation. So if you were paying attention, the first thing we do is look at the 10 and subtract it on both sides. And if we do that, we'll get, so these cancel out. Oh, I messed up. Let's use a different color. So these cancel out. And the answer we get 8. Oh god, that's ugly. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I can't draw. So we get 8x equals 40. So after we do this, I think you guys know what we're going to do. We're going to divide. As you can tell, because x is being multiplied by 8. So we cross that out and we divide each side by 8. And the answer we get is 5. So x equals 5. Okay, so we only have one more type of algebraic equation to do. So let's make a new slide, and we are going to do a literal equation. So this time we're going to solve for y. And the equation is going to be 2x plus 3 minus 4y. No, we're just going to do y. Make it more simple. So we have a negative y. This would be the same as that, just in case you're confused. So remember, the first step is always to rewrite the equation. 2x plus 3 minus y. Here, let's create an answer. Equals, just doesn't matter. 4. Let's do 4. Yeah, that seems simple. 2, 3, and 1, 4. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is isolate. We're gonna circle each term with it, or yeah, each. That's not right. We're gonna circle each term with a different color because, as you could tell, x can't combine with y because they're two different people. I mean, if they were x, they could combine, but they're not. So we have to exclude y as a coefficient and give it its own color. So first, we're going to solve for the constant. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides, and we get, oh, whoops, that's not right. Sorry. y minus 2x. So that's our equation. Now, here's the tricky part. We have to subtract 2x. We have to isolate the 2 from the x. So we are going to divide by 2. I'm just going to leave that like that, leave it in its fraction form. Unless, actually, I'll make it easier and put it in its decimal form. So right now, we have x minus y equals 0.5. Yeah, that's that dot. I don't really like it. So I'm going to terminate it and put it right there. So we have x minus y equals 0.5. Now we have to isolate y by subtracting at oh wait, this equation is special because look, we want to take that because that's technically a 1. Actually, wait, no, never mind. We leave that there. I'm being weird right now. So first we have to subtract x from both sides because remember, even if there's no plus sign or if there's no symbol next to it, it's a plus. So we are going to subtract x from both sides. Now this might look confusing. How do you subtract 0.5 from x? Well, you can't, so just pay close attention how I rewrite the equation. We just subtract x from 0.5. But since we don't know what x is yet, we just write it like this. Stupid dust. I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute my mic real quick. Okay, there. That's much better. So we did it. Well, we haven't done it yet. Pretend this whole time, because this part is confusing and it might be a little. You guys might not understand how I would explain it, but there's a plus here the whole time. So y, if I were to rewrite the equation, y equals 0.5 minus x. Oh, that's a weird x. But I'm going to keep it because that is a special x. Yeah. I'm going to circle it with this cool color. Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? So that's our answer. So to recap, we're going to go back to, whoops. I'm messing everything right now. Okay, so if we were to go back, so we're going to recap. So an algebraic equation is an equation with a variable, for example, x, y, and z. An example of an algebraic equation is 2x plus 1 equals 3. And then there's 4 types of algebraic equations. We have one-step equations, two-step equations, multi-step equations, and literal equations. For one-step equations, you only have to do one step. You have to isolate the x, or whatever it is, the variable. For two-step equations, we have multiple steps to do. As you could see, it took us 2 steps to solve for x. Now, in this multi-step equation, it took us a lot more steps to solve for x. A multi-step equation takes 3 or more steps to solve for x. And then we also have, finally, a literal equation. Don't mind my x. So it's an equation with more than one variable. It's pretty simple. You just have to isolate the variable by moving the other variables to the other side. Excuse me. That'll end the video. Please don't make fun of me. This is like an actual legitimate video. I'm doing this because I feel like it. But please don't make fun of me. I'm just trying to make money and views. So, bye.